Honestly, this is getting ridiculous.
Imagination, that's something special. These were worlds without limits. Equestria Girls is nothing but limits. No magic, no intrigue, nothing to draw the viewer deeper into the world.
Oh,
I'm a little more invested when Twilight gets framed for busting up the gym because I do care about Twilight Sparkle the character. However, this scene is rendered moot almost immediately thanks to Flash. I do want to acknowledge one fact that is overshadowed by the flaws in this scene. Flash helps. Yes, Sunset's doctored photos were silly and Vice Principal Luna isn't the brightest bulb here, yet does that diminish the fact that Flash was proactive in clearing Twilight's name?
Woo!
I may rib on the guy, but I do appreciate that he tried to be a supportive character.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Twilight has
Flash.
the dilemma of getting the dance back on track in the time left, and it's up to Spike to give her some good advice.
We tell them the truth.
What a strange situation. Spike is presented as Twilight's pet, yet he's treated with far more respect than he was as a dragon and Twilight's assistant. Some argue that giving a positive role to a male character in MLP will undermine the heroines. I disagree, thanks in no small part to Spike's role here. I don't think less of Twilight for having such a good friend. If anything, I think more highly of her for inspiring these feelings, and that they're both very lucky to have one another. So thanks to Spike's support, Twilight abandons all pretense and puts her trust in the bond she shares with the others. This scene has got to be tense, focused, and...
You're from an alternate world and you're a pony princess there, and the crown actually has a magical element embedded in it that helps power up other magical elements, and without it, they don't work anymore, and you need them to help protect your magical world. And if you don't get the crown tonight, you'll be stuck in this world, and you won't be able to go back for a really, really long time.
Movie, you have turned Pinkie Pie into a Deus Ex device. She is a shortcut to get past the massive and important plot point in order to keep the movie below an hour and a half. Bow your head in shame. And the shortcuts continue as the Human Six begin cleaning the gym on their own, and passing students decide to drop whatever they're doing to chip in. It is worth contrasting these scenes from the opening, where they wouldn't even help Twilight stand up. Yet there's still the issue of Twilight's efforts versus the results. A song and dance was all it took to get these cutouts to team up? It's too easy, too short. And what are the stakes going into the final act? Twilight's got the student body support, her friends are entirely behind her, Sunset's multiple schemes have all failed, there's plenty of time until the gateway closes, the tension is at an all-time low, and I have to wonder, what has Sunset been planning?
I need this formal to go on tonight just as much as she does.
Why? What is your plan exactly? Because you told them to wreck the gym, you've been caught lying to the principals, for which there will be no consequence, the entire student body is turned against you, and you're still trying to get the crown through the dance? A smart villain would follow the principals until they went to retrieve the crown. Once that's accomplished, you then overpower them and take it.
What the heck is he doing?
Which is not as easy as it may sound, but
oh my God.
Pain, no gain. Oh. Instead, after the obligatory best night of our lives scene and Twilight wins fair and square, Sunset instead abducts Spike to force Twilight into handing over the crown.
Give me the crown, and you can go back to Equestria tonight. Or keep it and never go home.
Okay, many fans have pointed out that trying to use the sledgehammer on the portal would yield this result.
Ouch.
At which point I would have to declare a fanboy vendetta. Yet here's a question for you all. We know that the portal covers this recessed area, but what about the surrounding structure?
I know.
If Sunset were to damage that, would it crack the portal's surface and therefore close it off? I'd like to think so, because Sunset can't get more absurd at this point. Even with her ultimatum, Twilight shuts her down.
Equestria will find a way to survive without my element of harmony.
I've seen Season 4, Twilight. They're up a creek without you. So for all her planning, Sunset only gets the crown when she resorts to tackling Twilight and playing a massive game of keep away. That Sunset wins because Twilight stinks at sports. No shame in that. So while Twilight could wear the crown without any transformation, Sunset gets turned into a she-demon. I feel like I should be happy that finally making magic a factor in this story, but I'm sorry, it's been an hour viewing just to reach basic levels of conflict. Although I guess my ability to call baloney on this story keeps me from getting brainwashed as well. So, what are you gonna do now, Missy? Okay, I'll play the minion. What's the plan, boss?
I want Equestria, and with my own little teenage army behind me, I'm going to get it!
Seriously? That's your plan? Okay, let's say for a moment you defeat Twilight and company and invade Equestria with an army of high schoolers. Here's how that story ends. Welcome back to the Crystal Empire. See, there's the 3 sovereign princesses and the realm's greatest defenders. All of whom are rightly cheesed that you just murdered their friend, and oh look, Cadence has just activated the Crystal Heart.
No! And there goes the elements of harmony.
Did you not see that coming? I saw that coming. So, about that Faustian bargain. But that doesn't happen because we have one last Deus Ex merchandise to pull. Twilight and Company magically transform into hybrid forms, which I remind everyone is the form they market within the Equestria Girls toy line. And this is why Equestria Girls will never be able to match Monster High's advertising. You see, these forms are limited, special, whereas the toys try to present them doing everyday activities like sleepovers and cheerleading and whatever. Monster High characters are monsters 24/7. You can market that to girls and they'll buy in because it looks accurate and creepy. And while I don't doubt that people buy Equestria Girl merchandise because it has the My Little Pony logo, this seems like a flawed pitch.
Yeah.
And you know this song and dance. The magic WMD solves everything, Sunset is suddenly repentant. I, however, remain vexed.
A true princess in any world leads not by forcing others to bow before her, but by inspiring others to stand with her.
Okay, 1, Principal Celestia is not a good authority on this matter. 2, remember the concern from the movie's start?
Just because I have this crown and these wings, it doesn't mean I'll be a good leader.
This was the start of a trend that carried through Season 4, and I'm concerned will be a factor in Season 5. Twilight didn't test her limits. While she faced a challenge, she responded to it in the same way she's handled every threat to date. Gather her clique, win with bright colors and lights, and now the audience is meant to believe she's learned something about true leadership. This is the illusion of growth, the sleight of hand to make the audience buy into Princess Twilight without really testing her. She didn't learn how to lead, she learned how to become popular. Unfortunate, since I think she could rise to the challenge if events could unfold naturally. And that's my biggest issue with Equestria Girls. It could have been more. Equestria Girls banks on friendship as magic's popularity without bringing anything new to the table. The only high school cliche they didn't touch on was that Sunset never stole Flash on the rebound. Unless you count the massive brainwashing.
Oh, gosh.
Speaking of Flash, check out that expression. That boy just pulled a groin muscle. All of that said, Equestria Girls is a harmless movie. It's serviceable enough to be viewed by a family without any discomfort, and despite my disappointment, there are things to celebrate. There is a nostalgia to seeing Twilight re-encounter her best friends, and her relationship with Spike is one of mutual respect and support. The movie is also an interesting premise. If it had been more willing to take risks and flesh out the world, it could have had a similar impact to the TV series. And though it was a rough start, Rainbow Rocks was a different kind of movie. One that can't undo the disappointment of Equestria Girls, but gets a lot more right.
Yeah,
and we'll visit that in due time. I'm the Human Silver Quill, and I'll see you again for the second movie. Thanks for watching.
All around, generous, honesty, laughter, kindness, loyalty. Twilight made us each to see all that we can be. So get up, get down. If we're gonna come around, we can work together, helping Twilight win the crown. So get up, get down, cause we're gonna make a sound. If we work together, helping Twilight sparkle win the crown. And if we're gonna come up, we can work together, helping Twilight win the crown together. Aww. I have to say, that was a fun ride. He made a lot of good points, and I was invested, and not to mention, comedy was spot on as usual. And I have to say, Equestria Girl Silver Quill looks awesome! Except, of course, for his minion forms was a little bit out there, but I ain't complaining. But yes, that was my reaction to this, and I am looking forward to his Rainbow Rocks review. So yes, see you all next time. Laters, every peoples! But wait, I wonder what a Equestria Girls me would look like. I'll leave that for you guys to decide. Laters!